The color is great, red. I don't even remember. I forgot to do then after today, we have to watch a long video. Then each say what she told me. So I'm thinking, what is the cover? Cover. And then I want to read out the meaning.
Good evening, everybody. Friends of Literature, Oxford Bookstore, and the Prize, welcome tonight. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you for joining us today on the occasion of this very important announcement of the long list of Oxford Bookstore's Book Cover Prize. It has been a great year for the prize, and I'm delighted to inform you that we have received over 280 nominations from a truly national list of publishers, and the final long list that we will unveil today was chosen following a detailed process of shortlisting by the distinguished jury. Friends, among the many significant literary initiatives launched by Oxford Bookstores over the past decades, the Book Cover Prize is of special importance. As a bookstore, we are particularly well positioned to understand and appreciate the value of a striking and memorable book cover. This prize appreciates the importance of the balance, particularly in our increasingly visual age. We believe that a book cover interprets and decodes the ensuing text in crucial ways that contribute to its ultimate success. Standout cover design is an integral part of the success of a book. Designers and illustrators play a very important role in helping to create a book that becomes special. Today, the advances made in technology allow creativity and design to flower in new and exciting ways and translate into a truly unusual and imaginative narrative for book cover design. Moreover, as ways of reading proliferate, the concept of cover design too will evolve, and we look forward to the future editions of this book cover prize, the long list, the short list, taking part in various festivals, evolving over the years ahead. I would like to thank our chair of the jury, Amarnath, Dainita Singh, and Namita, who has been pivotal in bringing all this together. And now may I request Namita to take the evening forward. Thank you.
Thank you, friends, for coming here on a polluted evening, not so polluted, but you all ventured out, and I hope we have a wonderful, wonderful evening together, celebrating books, reading, publishing, bookselling. Preeti is not going to get away so easily because she'll have to tell us in the next segment. She has forgotten to mention that she's also a part of the jury, and I'm going to ask Preeti, Dena, and Aman. Dena is the wonderful Dena Sareen, who has designed many, many, many covers. She looks like a young kid, but her covers give her away. If you see cover designed in 1982, then you know that the secret is out, you know. And Amarnath, the great, what do I say, all-around estate, who's also a restorer, who brings back beauty to old buildings. who understands every aspect of graphics and books and has designed covers for many of his friends, including myself. So now, to begin with, I'm going to ask Dana to say a few words about what a book cover means to her. Dana is a graphic person, doesn't believe too much in talking, but we are going to try to persuade her. Come on, Dana. A big clap for Dana before she begins.
What can I say? What does a book cover mean to me? It means the world to me. I've been doing this for 17 years. And people often ask me, so what goes behind a book cover? What is the process of ideation? How do you arrive at a cover solution? And after hundreds of covers that I made, I don't have an answer to that question. And I love the fact that there is no set path. There is no path to success cover. You actually can't even teach it to someone. Intangible process. I just love the suspense that this whole process entails.
I mean, do you first see the image? Do you read the book first? Or blur or what?
Like I said, every cover has its own story. Sometimes I read the manuscript from cover to cover and I still don't come up with a single idea. And that's absolutely not because the book is not inspiring to me, but sometimes just the forces don't align. Whereas on the other hand, sometimes just sitting in a meeting, I hear a title and really begun to doodle. But sometimes the doodle never translates into a successful design. So it's really that intangible. But yeah, to answer Namita's question a little more directly, talk to designers. A lot of you are from the publishing process as well. We fight, we argue, sometimes we have a difficult author, sometimes we don't. Sometimes authors have very fixed ideas, and that's a bit of a downer for a designer because then you're just executing someone's idea. You're not sort of looking at it afresh, you're not giving it your own interpretation. But sometimes you have to do that. But yeah, so it starts with the editor talking a little about how they want to position the book, and finally you read a bit of the manuscript, sometimes all of it, and authors share ideas, and you just get started.
Last question. There are many wonderful publishers in the audience, and I know when they are reading a manuscript, they try to keep the authors away. They don't want them breathing over their neck. So, isn't the same to designers? I think some of them bad authors, so I know. But do you try consciously writers that come up with this?
I like a little distance from the authors, and I say little. Sometimes it's also very important to know what. Sometimes it helps to know the author. I remember when I was designing Jerry Pinto's M and the Big Moon. That's a book that I absolutely loved, and I really enjoyed exploring. M and the Big Moon. About 4 or 5 years ago. I felt such a sense of responsibility and such a positive pressure in that sense because I knew that Jerry had practically lived that life. It was fictional, but it was very autobiographical. So it worked out well in the end. It brought out the best in me, I think. But sometimes I feel the authors are so close to their books that they're not able to extricate themselves and be able to think of a single representative visual, which maybe someone once removed is able to do better. Also, maybe publishers are publishers for a reason. Maybe we understand the audience a bit better. We probably understand how to showcase that story better.
Well, listening to Veena was, we know that she didn't get the prize last year for articulation, but for graphic sense. But you just said, put it all so beautifully. Thank you, Veena, for continuing to be associated with the prize. Now, heads up, would Aman like to speak next or Preeti? I think Preeti. A few questions. I'll ask you just a few questions, Preeti. I'm asking Preeti now. You see, I am a writer. She is a designer. Aman is chairman of the jury. I'm asking you, in your capacity as a reader, and also as somebody who runs one of the most and successful bookstore chains in India, who has given it a new lease of life with your enthusiasm. Just in a few words, what do you search in a cover?
though I own a bookstore, I buy books from other places nearly every day of my life. So I'm either on the internet or visiting other bookshops. When I go to a new city, I buy books every single day. And I could say quite easily that about 50% of the books that I buy on a daily basis, I buy because the book cover is interesting, or it's visually appealing, or it's quite often not something I know about, but it's something that I want to search and learn about. So the book cover is a way of taking me into that subject, and then I buy the book, and then I learn about something new. Today I want to talk a little bit about book covers and the art of bookselling today, and that's what I've been doing for many years, is selling books. So I think the book cover, if the author is famous or the book is really amazing, the book is going to sell regardless of the quality of the book cover. It's like going to a restaurant where the food is really good, and you don't really need the decor, you're going to eat it because the food is really good, and there are many amazing restaurants in Delhi like that. But when it's a new author, or it's a new subject, or it's something where maybe a new concept, I think the book cover can help a lot in selling the books. So there are three things that I think I've pinpointed that I think are important. First, in this very crowded space, as you can see, and we have a French book section nearby behind this panel, and after this event is over, we're going to lift it up. You see the difference between the French book covers and the English book covers. The French book covers are blank. It's a white canvas. But when you're living in this kind of space, the first thing that the book cover has to do is grab your attention. Which one over here is grabbing my attention? Which one?
The coalition of the
Yeah, because of the nice stripes. Yeah, there's something in it. Yeah, so the first thing you need to do is grab the book lover's attention, or even the person who's not a book lover, grab the person's attention. The second thing that Indian book covers seem to do is, and this is non-fiction and history, is tell a story. And telling the story doesn't really necessarily have to be about telling the whole story that's in the book and plonking every single bit of the story on the cover. I think the book designer needs to know where to edit, where to say a lot, and where to. But I think we come from a visual culture, and we need that as Indians. We need that whole story, or parts of it. And I've seen in the bookshop people grabbing books where they just think that the book cover is telling them the story of something that they want to read. And thirdly, you have all the bells and whistles like the blurbs and whether the author has won a prize and how well that information is displayed. And so you really want to entice the reader. Once the reader or the person looking at the bookshelf takes the book in their hands because they like the book cover, we see that 60 to 70% of the time the book is bought. That's how important it is. So that's what we have to do with this tool that we have, the book cover, and that's what designers, that's the power of the designer, and that's what you're talking about, 60 to 70% of the time the book is sold. And then just the last thing that I want to say is that there's been this big debate over the last almost how many years, and I'm hearing it all the time as a bookseller and as bookshop owner, that don't you think your bookshops are dying? And this is the thing, bookstores versus e-commerce, online books versus physical books. So all that debate's been going on in the background, and we know all the noise around it. But one thing has become increasingly clear, that on the internet, and book selling on the internet depends very much on the quality of the book cover, because the purchase is only a click away. And in 1 second, and I've done this countless number of times, so I can even tell you as a book lover, not just as a seller, that the cover and that one liner, and maybe if you have a little bit of time, you read some really substandard reviews, you just buy the book. So this area of book cover design is actually even more important for books that you buy on the internet. It's not just the physicality of it that you see over here. So that's all I think I want to say.
Very enlightening. Sorry, my throat is a little on the brink. and I decided that I'll read out a few points I had noted, because half the things I was going to say were said by Veda and half by Preeti. So before Aman says them all over again, I'm just going to quickly go through this. So my approach to covers and graphic identity is at two levels: as a publisher and books person, and also as a writer. I'd like to tell you first what we slightly crazed writers look for in a book cover. Most writers I know, including myself, have an absolutely emotional and usually irrational approach to the covers of their books. We wanted to evoke the deepest sense of what we were trying to convey in the course of the narrative, and often what we could not. So all the things we couldn't say in the narrative, this is a work of genius, we want the cover to say. Then often while we are writing the book, we get fixated on a particular image or a symbolic representation that may not be so clear to everyone else. We may say, oh, I want a bird on my cover, or I want my cover to look sad. And these may be just some things we carry in our head. And we want also the book cover to be a sort of a cover-up or the ultimate nude makeup to a book, to subtly hint at how great it is. But as Veena said, the publishers look at it differently. They know how to segment it, how to represent it, where in the bookstore it needs. So, at the same time, the love, the absolutely slavish love of a happy author for a good book cover, I can tell you that most of us look longingly at our new book covers much more than we may look at, I won't dare say, our grandchildren or our children or our boyfriends or our husbands, certainly not our mothers. Having said that, I want to stress that the cover is absolutely the key thing, as Preeti said. Not only the cover, but its font. What is the font that you've used which is suitable for that narrative? The size, the leading is very important. And the cover is a cue, a marker on how to place a particular story in our worldview of things. Where in our prejudices or aspirations does this particular story come in? Also, as Preeti says, I couldn't agree with her more. Covers are distinct according to the visual culture of where they belong to. Hindi covers are very distinct from English ones. We tried to publish in Hindi many years ago when we began, and we found that the English sensibility just as you remember. And Bangla covers are very distinct, very evocative. Asamiya covers, as I found, are very modern and very beautiful. Malayalam books, you can make out how they are different. France, I've also observed that the stark graphic identity and typography is at a premium, and pretty covers like my new cover, which you'll see outside, is gone. This cover, too much. Okay, and at this point, I wanted to mention, but I took the pride. So the other thing I wanted to mention was that Preeti has also got this amazing visual sense and is deeply involved in a lot of gallery and artistic initiatives. And she has just done a book which we hope will unveil here soon, which is one of the most amazing alphabet books in a Bollywood poster style, which all of you designers will certainly admire when the time comes. I hope it comes soon. So Veena Sareen here with us today has been responsible for designing some of my most wonderful covers. We've argued intensely, if not bitterly, over some of them, and I still almost broke our friendship. Ravi Singh still remembers it. It was the one where I decided to be very modern, the Hindi term mod kind of thing. And I came up with a very graphic cartoon. Modern also, the first prayer. So they said no, and I said yes, and then they said okay. And then when the book didn't do so well, they just looked resigned. So they knew what they were doing. Amarnath found a perfect image for one of the books dearest to my heart, and which has gone into 7 impressions with the same cover. It's called Sita, In Search of Sita, and the cover Aman suggested, and this beautiful yellow background. It's really a very appealing cover that tells you straight what the subject is. By happenstance, I've had two covers out in the last month. One was the Speaking Tiger for an anthology of the Himalaya, and one of my new novels, and both are just wonderful. So I'm on a good space with covers. But the cover is a hook on which to hang the book. It's a bait to lure the reader. And I'd say Amish Tripaঠি's first memoir, which he self-published. I think the cover and the video told you straight away, this is what you're looking for by this book. And I think it was absolutely inspired in terms of graphic identity. And also, I reiterate what Preeti said about Amazon and internet and seeing the cover in a reduced size. This is what we observed last year in our cover price discussions also, that when you see it in a very small size, you take it in differently. So to conclude, a very important question, is the book cover a pure art form? I would say, emphatically it is, as it interprets and positions another creative genre, be it fiction, or I hate the word non-fiction, so be it fiction or other forms of narrative. So thank you, designers, illustrators, calligraphers, typographers, writers, publishers, booksellers, readers, all those who may help you make a book virtual or physical, the delicious and desirable object that it is. On that note, before I hand over to Amanda, I'm going to ask a question I've been longing to ask Veena. Look, I just want to ask her this one thing. Do you like happy covers or sad covers?
I look happy and I good for happiness. Happy. Yeah.
Aman, may we have your views on the book covers, and then very quickly we will announce the 25 in the shortlist. Aman will read those out.
So lots of things have come out of what the three people that have spoken before me. So I don't agree with everything you people have said, but I think that a book cover is not just an independent art form. If you look at it in another language, if you look at food, for example, a book cover is the appetizer. It's not a course. I mean, it could be a first course, but you don't taste it. The taste of the book comes when you read the first page, or when you start from the dedication or a blurb or an abstract. But I think it's the sex appeal. So let's look at this. This is the most wonderful place to talk about this. If you walk around and see the huge crowd of books that this bookstore has, it's in a way like this crowd of people. So if I am looking at you and saying, who do I want to make friends with? Let's say each of you is a book cover. So, I can see one here in black. So you stand out in a different way. You have the most wonderful hair, so you stand out. So the people who are dressed like each other, then they become common in a way,
Yeah.
So we're talking about sex appeal, but a book, you touch, you pick, and you handle. But then, from what you people are saying, I think a good designer of a bad book is guilty. You buy something which you shouldn't have bought, So I think that, how do you say this? A publisher can't say, I've got a bad book, so let me do a bad cover that will be a double no sell. So I think that it can be the savior of a bad book, but if you have a good book, this book, I'm sorry I'm having it published, I just finished reading it yesterday. Yes, I did. And when she shared it with me, the cover, she was very content with the idea because it's a period book, it's a family saga, and I phoned her and I said, it's absolutely amazing. It's like an Indian war and peace, and it's compacted. When you see books of that size, I think they're really for lonely spinsters who would lie in bed with books,
Many of us here.
Not many, but you should have something that's doable within a time span where you don't forget what you read on the first few pages and by the time you get to the last pages. Okay? So communication is the other aspect, because if the content of the book, let's say, is Mahabharata, then you can't have the Japanese flag as a cover. Because, I mean, you could if you want, but in India, the problem arises that we are always trying to be literal and descriptive. So if you look at the Japanese flag and the Indian flag, they're just two flags which are to flutter in the breeze, which are to raise chauvinism or to be saluted to. But the Japanese flag just says it so quietly, whereas the Indian flag is demonstrative of skill, of symbolism. It's loaded, every color means something. And even the Ashoka Chakra, it has 108 spokes. And I mean, it's a nightmare for somebody. 24? Okay. And it's got Dhamma, and everything has a meaning to it, So many book covers, if you go around, and you see, are very literal. They read the book and they say, Kapoor should be here and Kapoor should be here, everybody should be. It's not a cartoon book. You have to represent the characters. I think you have to evoke the essence of it. If you filter the whole book through, what does it do to you? And so that when the reader has read the book through and shuts it, it encapsulates visually what they've said in words. I think one of the first few books I did was a book called Jaipur, and there were all kinds of suggestions. But Jaipur is known as the pink city. It isn't pink actually, it's a terracotta city because that color is not pink. But I did the cover with just a detail of the world. And the publisher said, but I said, okay, let's not argue. We went to a bookstore in Delhi and we put the book in a crowd of 50 books. The book went to sleep. Because it was just that much, 1 foot by 1 foot of Jaipur wall, and with a jewel, I think it was a sword, no, that is inside, and it's just typographical. So, and that book is sold 35,000 copies. It's a large format, expensive book. I'm not saying the cover is sold it, but the content and the cover together make a classic.
So on that note, I hope the takeaway to the publishers here is not that the worse the book, is it the worse the book, the worse the cover, or the worse the book, the better the cover?
I think more work for designers is designed.
So on that note, thank you all three of you for your enlightening words. Now begins the exciting part of it. Aman is going to read out the 25 winning entries. They are not in any particular order. So they are not in the order of priority. What order are they in? Alphabetical. As the alphabetical order of the titles.
Since the audience is as visually participating, I think we should take a vote from the audience also at the end of it, just to know. Why not? Just to know.
Okay. They can email and tell us.
Okay. You can email and tell us which one you like. I write the whole after my heart. So what is it? Yeah, this actually stands out. As you can see.
Just to let you know, the book cover is on the screen and behind us.
Okay. So the title you can read, the designer is Shruti Shyam, and the I think it's very graphic. Book title, not very easy to read, is Ahmedabad. The designer name is K. Nikhil. The author's name is Amrita Shah, and the publication is Bloomsbury. The title is Amdal. The designer's name is Sanandani Banerjee, and the author's name is Priya Sarokai Chavriya. Publication is the Green Zuban. Between the assassinations, it's actually a very 15 subtle things. But what I did want to say was when you look at the book back and front, you never really see it like that. We're looking at it as a work of art. But if you want to see it as a cover, you have to blank off that much because eventually you will only face this. And then between the assassinations, this kind of little something comes, Okay, that's publication is Pan Macmillan and the author is Arvind Adiga. I didn't say the designer's name, but sorry. Hartomo Sami.
Listen, Aman, just see if any of the designers are here. Let's
Just
ask
stand
them.
up.
Okay, the designers are here. It would be
Any
nice.
of them so far here? You're very shy. That's
Okay,
fine.
it's fine. Bhole Bisre Chand Tarani, the designer's name is Murta Sadhwani and Nika Gupta. The author's name is Nirja Pan and the publication is Yatra Books. In this case too actually, the spine is where the hinge of the Mara is. So if you actually blank out that, it becomes a much better cover. You don't see the barcode. I quite like this actually. Chilies in Porridge. Designer's name is Priya Korean. Author's name is Nika Kapoor. And the publisher is HarperCollins.
Here, here.
This is a very subtle cover. Mayor Masood cover. Collected stories. Okay, yes. And the designer's name is Stuart Daly, and the publisher is Penguin. The title is Daddy's Boy. Designer is Saurabh Gargi. Author name is Shananda Minhas, and the publisher is HarperCollins. Nice title, Daddy. Do you know any good boys? Yes. Aparajita Menon, author name is Niti Shah, the publisher is Pan Macmillan. This could actually have a explanation, The title is Firak Gorakhpuri. The designer's name is again Nikki Afale, and the author's name is Ajay Mansingh. The publisher is Roli Books. The title is From Soup to Superstar. Paro Ramesh, author's name Karthik Shankar, and the publisher HarperCollins. Gachar Gochar, designer name Bhavi Mehta, author Vivek Shandar, and publisher HarperCollins. Gita Press and the Making of Hindu India, designer Paru Ramesh, author Akshay Mukul, publisher HarperCollins. What I say, designer S.D. Ali and Bhavna Singh, author's name Anil Menon, publisher Bloomsbury. It is a very interesting cover, except that the placing of Calcutta cuts that visually. Calcutta, designer Pinaki Dev, author Kunal Basu, publication, publisher Pan Macmillan. So this is the Hindi covers we are talking about, they're so different actually. Kotha Guru, Rani Prakashan, editorial team, and on the design. Author's name is Prabhat Ranjan, and the publisher is Rani Prakashan. Very good. Book title Lost Addresses, designer name Nisha Oberoi, author's name Krishna Bose, publication Yogi Books. So very Japanese, clear, nice design. book is My Name is Radha. Tara Upadhyay is the designer, and the author's name is Sadat Hassan Manto, Penguin Publication. Very nice page for it. Once upon a time, designer Bhavi Mehta, author Ashok Srinivasan, publication Harvard College. Rajiv Pandemonium, designer Raja Ram, author Piyush Pandey, publisher Penguin. The Cosmopolitan, designer is Aparajita Menon, author and publication Penguin. The Emergency, designer Chetan Kishore, author Kumi Kapoor, publisher Penguin. The Girl Who Ate Books, designer Kirti Manga, author Nilanjan Roy, publisher HarperCollins. The Island of Lost Girls, designer Bhavi Mehta again, author Manjula Padmanabhan, publisher Ashok. And the last one is The Sharp Knife of Memory, designer Ujjan Datta, author Kondapalli Kotis Varamma, publisher Zuban.
Is Ujjan here?
So actually, people look back on this, they have a memory of 3-4. You can't remember 25 covers, you know. So the graphic ones are the ones that really stay in your mind.
So, dear friends from the publishing industry, I want to thank all of you and ensure that next year there's even more buzz to this prize. Ensure that your rival publishers also submit their books.
Can you shift a little bit there? It's coming.
And so on.
Thank you.
Because it really will lead to a movement. And remember, visibility of the cover is visibility of the books. And these covers are going to and sales. So these covers are going to get widely displayed. Here itself, you will just see a wonderful visual board. Then in the Calcutta Festival, the ABJ Calcutta Festival, there will be a session around these prize-winning entries and all the entries in general. And again, at the Jaipur Literature Festival, the final winner will be announced. And in between, wherever else, we can show these in the many other bookshops of the Oxford Bookstore Group. So just hold it up. If you could put it on the thing. Yeah. Perfect. So all of you who came late and missed out which of your prize-winning entries were there, you can look on this thing and see all the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful covers and all the wonderful books behind them. So thank you again. A glass of wine, raise a toast to art, to design your books and to reading, and to Preeti Paul at Bookstore, to Dana, to Kamal, and to our active members. Thank you all. And Meena is somewhere around. Meena from Penguin? Yeah, because I'm still. Okay. She said hello to me and I was saying hello.
I thought you were asking the audience.
You want questions?
No, which one they like.
Okay, so I have a suggestion. It's my suggestion really. We're going to either post it here. Both of you will want to name your best favorite cover, not beyond your favorite.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're going to leave a post-it here and you can just scribble your favorite cover.
And security.
And we will take it into
We'll consider it in the jury.
But you want to have one cover or one? One cover, your absolute favorite cover. And the publishers can cheat and go for their own covers.
Here won't people hide the. No, I
Bye-bye.
think everybody get to know that.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I didn't see. I was concentrating so much. I wasn't even looking. I was. Sorry. When did you come?
I just walked in.
Are you walking now?
Hi.
Hi.